Well, if that business you talked about a minute ago, from that woman needs a board member, like I said, Shelley, you'd have to talk to Shelley. But Shelley's an amazing person that understands the industry inside and out, and might be somebody that either have
Yeah.
a mentor for this lady. So,
Follow up
but
on that.
I mean, but that's really big. So what we find is entrepreneurs that are great entrepreneurs, they don't go in it saying, I want to be really rich, right? I mean, yeah, they want success, right? But they go into it super passionate about what they're doing, like you did sewing those pants, making less money than you would have made otherwise if you stuck with what you're doing, right? But you're so passionate about serving other people, and you're so excited about seeing people, loving your products. The raving fans that you created got you more excited to serve even more and better, right? And again, I'm so confident that's what's made America so strong compared to the rest of the world. We've allowed that to happen with this free enterprise system that we're blessed to be living with, right?
Yeah. And Gary, one thing I will say, you talk about like your role models and people that you look up to. A lot of the people that I had the most respect for as a child were teachers. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure.
they had a huge impact on my life. Our soccer coach, Bill Browning, my soccer coach, Chris Morgan, both of whom were lifelong educators. I can just name off, high school teachers, Mr. Pollock, Mrs. Houston, Alan Loeb, like people that had a huge impact on my life. And they were all teachers because those are the impressive adults you're exposed to as a young person, teachers and coaches, right? And if you think about it, neither one of those jobs is particularly highly compensated with cash, but I think they were some of the most inspiring and frankly satisfied people I knew. And, both of my mom was a social worker, my dad was an attorney. Neither one of them was especially focused on material things or outcomes. I was probably more focused on that. And I don't feel bad about it. I just happened to think cars were cool when I was a kid, right? I watched Miami Vice. I thought it was an amazing show. I loved the music. I loved the way it made me feel, even though I was only 9 years old. So I wanted a Ferrari.
Did the members only jackets turn you on too, or what?
I loved members only jackets. I loved brands like Genera and Gerbaud. I mean, I cared about my clothes and I liked it. And, it's funny. I think in hindsight, I think my mom may be worried that I was too focused on materialism or brands or whatever. And maybe now that I've had a career in the space, it's fair to just say that's what I was naturally gravitating toward, was the artistic component of it, the expression component of it. And, there's ways to channel that into a career. And if you can, I think it's awesome. But back to the point, who inspires you and what do you care about? I mean, I think the single greatest reward of success as an entrepreneur is the way you get to treat your employees and the way you get to inspire people and the way that you can play a really important role of provider. And frankly, I think, in a world that's politically, very unstable and really, unfortunately, pretty broken. I think Washington's pretty broken on both sides right now. There's I think a lot of the best leadership in this company is happening at the corporate level, at the university level. I think Mitch Daniels at Purdue is one of the best leaders and best writers.
Mitch is
around.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
He's a world-class guy. And I think there's world-class people on both sides of the aisle. Mitt Romney comes to mind. I had a ton of respect for John McCain. There are great people doing great things. And I think a lot of them are in business. I think some of our strongest leaders today are people like Jamie Dimon, not the senators and representatives who can't seem to get along to pass a stimulus package right now.
Yeah, and back to your thoughts and my thoughts. When I think of leadership in government and business, whatever, again, it's those people that are out to serve others before themselves. And in the government is the same thing. When I look at people in government or people in business, those that are focused on serving the market they're supposed to serve, right, at any cost to be the best is the most impressive to me. And some of the names you mentioned are those names I think about, right? I mean, when people are doing it at no benefit to themselves, and very often, foregoing a salary or benefits or pension, whatever, because they maybe can afford to, right? to serve a market or serve a government or whatever. To me, those are leaders, right?
Very honorable. It can be.
So,
yeah.
And it can, and again, whether it's business, politics, or whether it's education, and the same thing. Some of my coolest mentors were those that had confidence in me in high school sports and in classes I was struggling in, right? To say, Gary, you can handle this. Let me help you. I know you can get this done, and you can get an A in this next test if you just study these things, right? Or the coaches that said, Gary, I got confidence in you. I'm going to make you the captain of this team or that team, and the confidence those teachers and coaches instill in you, I mean, carry you through your life, right? You never forget that stuff. So yeah, you're right. Teachers, I mean, they're unsung heroes so often, aren't they?
Yeah,